On behalf of all Canadians, I am pleased to offer my best wishes to the players and coaches of the University of Winnipeg Westman women's basketball team as you prepare to go for number 89. You are a tremendous credit to your university and Canadian sport. When you walk on the court tonight, you will not only be challenging a record, you will have a chance to rewrite North American basketball history. Whatever the result, you have reached a singular pinnacle of excellence, and you have done so through hard work, determination, and a tremendous belief in yourselves. Win or lose, you possess the indomitable spirit of true champions. Best of luck to Right Honorable Jean Chrétien. Suitably impressed.
How much did you put in his campaign?
The streak that began October 24th, 1992 continues and carries Winnipeg to a second consecutive championship.
Beginning our second decade of university sports coverage, TSN proudly presents CIAU Basketball.
The streak. It's a phrase which has been used liberally throughout basketball history. The legendary Edmonton grads put together two enormous winning streaks in the first half of the 20th century. On a contemporary level, the Calgary Dinosaurs set the North American women's collegiate record, winning 69 in a row just 5 years ago. But Calgary still fell well short of the most celebrated streak in sports history, the incredible 88 straight wins by the UCLA Bruins of 20 years ago, led by Bill Walton, coached by John Wooden. Now, 20 years later, a remarkable group of athletes from Winnipeg is poised to set a new standard of excellence.
Winning this many games in a row is very difficult, no matter at what level you are or what sport you're at. And I think that I don't think that we should think that this is any less an achievement than the UCLA.
Like the Walton-led Bruins, the Westmen have a true leader in Sandra Carroll.
I've heard of the streak, and I've heard of like the coach and Bill Walton. I just like to be part of history. It's just kind of unbelievable to compare yourself to a team like that.
Today, crosstown rival Manitoba stands in the way of Winnipeg's 89th straight win and a place in sports history.
Earlier tonight, this was the scene as they opened the doors at the Duckworth Center on the campus of the University of Winnipeg. These excited fans streaming in to catch a basketball game and to get the best seats early. This is the way it looks right now. Minutes before game time, we are presenting CIAU basketball here on TSN. It's a very special night. It is women's basketball, the Manitoba Bisons and the Winnipeg Westmen. A crosstown rivalry, but very special night for a number of reasons. Hi everyone, I'm Brendan Connor. Welcome to the Duckworth Center, where it is filled with electricity. The atmosphere here is one of excitement, and why not? There's a little bit of history is going to be made tonight. Most people feel if the University of Winnipeg Westmen can win another game against their crosstown rivals, the University of Manitoba Bisons, they will go into the record books, of course, with 89 straight wins. This is a basketball team that has not lost a game in over 2 years. The streak began in October of 1992, and they went all the way that year. They went to be the national champions. 1993, this was at the University of Victoria. They defeated UVic to win the 1993 championship. They were national champions, and they started a streak. It was 35 games and counting. Flash ahead to 1 year later, again in the national championship tournament. This time it's at the University of Calgary, and once again, led by Sandra Carroll, the Winnipeg Westmen defeat University of Toronto, and they're national champions once again. Another undefeated season, and the streak is at 73 and counting. Now it's 1994, the fall of 1994. A new season has begun, and the Winnipeg Westmen are 15-0 to start the season. They beat the University of Manitoba Bisons last week to tie the record of 88. Tonight they go for win number 89. To call the game for you, Peter Watts and Brian Haney, and let's get their thoughts now. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Brendan, very much. Always nice to be a part of history. Coach Heaney, you coached a lot of games in this league over the years. How unbelievable are the numbers that the University of Winnipeg have put up here in the last 2 years?
The streak's just incredible, Peter. A team to make this kind of run and win night after night over a period of several seasons deserves all the recognition that they can achieve if they win this ball game tonight. They have two great characteristics that all teams have to have if they're going to put a streak on. One is they got great chemistry, their skills complement each other, and they have role players. And secondly, they're a very competitive bunch, and any time they've been challenged, they've been able to respond to that challenge. They come at you full force when their back is against the wall. Let's try and put some of the numbers that Winnipeg has put up here in some context for you. The longest winning streak in the history of professional sport belongs to the 1971 Los Angeles Lakers, a streak of 33 games. Other streaks of note involve the University of North Carolina women's soccer team, which saw its 92 consecutive game winning streak end earlier this fall. UCLA and Winnipeg tied for second place on the all-time list, and the University of Calgary women's Dinosaurs won 69 consecutive games before losing the championship finale in the 1990 tournament final in Toronto, a game that I did, and I haven't told Tom Kendall about that because I didn't want to jinx them. Let's talk about some other streaks as well, and it involves how dominant the Winnipeg Westmen have been in the last couple of years during this streak. Here are the schools that they have beaten, led by Manitoba, 18 consecutive wins. University of Calgary, one of 9 Canadian schools that the Westmen have not played during this streak, and 3 Division I schools from the United States, all of which have been beaten by Winnipeg in the last 2 years. Largest margin of victory, 74 points. Smallest margin was last January when the Westmen beat Brandon by 2. And all in all, 100 times they have scored, or 100 points 19 times is what I'm trying to say. And equally as impressive, Peter, is the fact that in only 11 of those games has this team won a game by less than 10 points, which means on 77 occasions they've steamrolled over the opposition.
This is a very deep team, but it has some very good people. You've heard a lot about Sandra Carroll, number 4, the great guard for the University of Winnipeg. She's key, as always, to any hopes that Tom Kendall's team has of winning tonight. Sandra Carroll is an explosive player. She's one of the most exciting players in the CIAU and one of the greatest players in CIAU history. She's averaging 27 points a game, and she can put the three-point shot up with anybody in university basketball today. She's a 3-time academic All-Canadian. So is Andrea Hutchins, her teammate, who wears number 9. A 2-time academic All-Canadian, great in the classroom, terrific on the court. Well, Andrea Hutchins is a reckless player on the offensive end of the court. She'll score from anywhere on the court, but many people say she'll shoot from anywhere on the court. A delightful player to watch, very entertaining, and a super offensive threat. Great atmosphere in this building. This is really a lot of fun. It's been sold out since Tuesday, and we're going to stick around and watch some great basketball here tonight. We're so glad you could join us. Now, let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams.
At forward, number 7, Victoria Neufeld. At guard, number 10, Marjorie Kelly. At post, number 12, Lorianne Palmer. At forward, number 13, Larissa Krellin. And the guard, number 15, Terry Lee Johannesson. The athletic therapists are Diane Potapinski and Connie Eamon. The assistant coaches are Joel Femin and Charles Walton and Joe Ogums. And the head coach is Colleen Dufresne. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the starting lineup for your 2-time defending CIAU national champions, the University of Winnipeg Westmen. At guard in her 5th year out of John Taylor, standing 5'7", 2-time Nan Kopp Award winner, number 4, Sandra Carroll. Also at guard in her 5th year out of Vincent Massey Brandon, standing 5'9", number 7, Pam Flick. A guard in her 5th year, 5'11", second-team All-Canadian, number 9, Andrea Hutchins. At post in her third year, shooting 5'11" out of Glen Lawn Collegiate. Number 12, Andrea Pales. And in the post in her third year, standing 6 feet even out of Kelvin. Number 14, Sandy Corby. The manager is Jennifer Howe. The assistant coaches are Gail Kendall, Keith Bruden, Carla Lenz, and Craig Kennedy. And the head coach in his 16th year, Tom Kendall.
All right, the atmosphere is electric. The scene is set. You have the starting lineups. We'll be right back with the game on
Your referees
TSN.
for this evening's match are Bruce Stricker and Mike Lyon.
We took the most comfortable full-size pickup on the road and made it more comfortable. We took the most thoughtful interior on the market and made it more thoughtful. We took the biggest cab in the industry and made it bigger. The new Dodge Ram Club Cab. First we changed the rules, then we stretched them. From Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
Hey, Remington, shave this.
The Remington Triple Foil. The only shaver with 3 narrow micro screens. Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
And for women, a silky smooth shave in or out of the shower. The Remington Wet Dry.
Rock-up, sock-up, 6, upset!
Rock-up, sock-up 6 in stores everywhere.
A sold-out Duckworth Center at the University of Winnipeg. Ready to watch a little sports history in the making tonight as the University of Winnipeg in the light uniforms with the red trim will play crosstown rival Manitoba. Bruce Fricker and Mike Mile in charge of a game that is now underway with Manitoba controlling the basketball and getting the first shot, but not the first rebound. That'll be a key statistic to watch tonight. Here's the pass to Andrea Hutchins. On the board.
And Peter, she just ran out the entire court. She started behind and she beat everybody down court. And that's exactly what Winnipeg wants to do, is run the ball all night long.
Turnovers really hurt the University of Manitoba in the game last week. They had over 20 of them, and that's a serious problem for a team that is very young, relatively inexperienced, certainly in comparison with the University of Winnipeg, and can't afford to make any sloppy errors to have a chance to keep this game competitive in the early going. Here's a chance, and off the rim, and the first foul called. Marjorie Kelly took the shot for the University of Manitoba.
Marjorie Kelly has an excellent penetration game. She shoots a jump shot well off the dribble, but she is a freshman at Manitoba this year. So one of the things that Colleen Dufresne, the coach at Manitoba, is going to have to contend with tonight is relative inexperience on the inside.
Here's one of a number of first-year players at the University of Manitoba, Marjorie Kelly. Missed both the free throws, and here now is Pam Flick, 5'9" senior guard out of Vincent Massey High School in Brandon. And she's the person who gets everything started for the University of Winnipeg.
Manitoba's playing straight man-to-man defense. That's what Hutchins is great at, Peter. She dribbles the basketball and pulls up for the shot on the way to the basket.
4-0 Winnipeg in the early stages of this historic game at the University of Winnipeg. Missed the shot, did Manitoba. Outlet pass goes quickly to Hutchins. Outside now to Pam Flick. Inside, and the turnaround jump shot off the rim. Good rebound there by Marjorie Kelly of the University of Manitoba. And now here is Terry Lee Johannesson with the first basket of the game for the Bisons, and they're on the board. 4-2 the score. Intercepted pass. Manitoba playing very well here in the early going. Johannesson off the rim. Rebound offensively, and a foul called under the basket.
Colleen Dufresne's got to be happy with that series because last week over at Manitoba, offensive rebounding was a real problem for Manitoba. So here the shot goes up by T.L. Johannesson, and here the rebound loading the offensive boards. Colleen Dufresne said today, we've got to rebound better on both ends of the court if we're going to be in the ball game this evening.
You made a very good point in the opening when you talked about how tough teams can be when they're challenged. I think that's really going to be something to watch in the early going for the University of Manitoba. It would be very easy for them to fade. And because they're a young team, because they're being full court pressured, that basket wiped out by a traveling violation. That'll be something to watch with this young Manitoba team.
And Tom Kendall going right to his bench early. Larissa Asplin and Heather Corby, two young first-year players who play on the inside for Winnipeg, just came in the ball game. Kendall said to me before the game, Coach Kendall, that he's not afraid to use the entire team. He thinks he's improved his depth this year over last year, and there's evidence of that with the early substitution in the front court.
And Flick off the rim with that shot, and quickly here comes T.L. Johannesson back up the floor. Nice pass inside. They missed the shot though, and the University of Winnipeg gets the rebound. A foul called. 3 Manitoba checkers right on the ball. So Winnipeg getting a little dose of its own medicine here with full court pressure by the Bisons.
And Manitoba's come out very, very aggressive. That was a terrific pass. It deserved an assist if the basket had gone in. But watch the Manitoba players surround the rebounder. 1, 2, 3, pressuring the basketball as soon as it changes possession.
And Flick starts Winnipeg back. Andrea Hutchins with the ball and drives towards the key. Sandy Carroll tries, and that pass rejected by Marjorie Bailey. And here's a fast break by T.L. Johannesson, and a basket for Manitoba.
Not only was it a great block by Marjorie Kelly, but turned it into 2 points, a 4-point swing on that play. Excellent defense by the freshman Marjorie Kelly.
Rejected once again, that time. Great pass inside, the ball knocked out. It'll be Winnipeg ball. And we're almost 3 minutes into the first half, and the score dead even at 4. And again, an encouraging start for Manitoba, Brian, which has to be concerned, I think, about how it's going to handle the pressure of this University of Winnipeg team.
Well, you know, the University of Manitoba, Peter, is the third-ranked collegiate women's team in the nation this year. They have a great program themselves. They're very, very competitive. And coming off a loss last week, a team like that will respond over the course of the week, and they'll come in here ready to do a job. I expected the game is going to be close throughout most of it.
Hutchins drives towards the middle of the key, but cannot penetrate a very tight defense. Now they try the pass inside, and the ball falls for Winnipeg's Lara Asplin, a 6-foot first-year player from John Taylor High School in Winnipeg.
Well, that was a great pass. Look at her break the defense down here. Andrea Hutchins drew number 12 and then dished off to the wide-open player, Asplin, under the basket. The play was made by Hutchins. She gives the little fist, the clench of the fist, like, yes, that's what I wanted to do.
7-4, Winnipeg leads as Asplin completes a 3-point play for the University of Winnipeg. T.L. Johannesson, Terry Lee Johannesson, Dakota Collegiate, 15 for Manitoba. And off the rim, and a good rebound there. Here's Johannesson, off the rim once again. This time, a jump ball situation. Manitoba very aggressive on the offensive boards, and Colleen Dufresne will like that. Alternating possession, Westman get the basketball. Here's Pam Flick for Winnipeg.
Defensively, T.L. Johannesson will challenge Pam Flick in the backcourt. She's one of the best defensive players that the Bisons have.
Knocked away, a steal, and here comes Johannesson. 2-on-1 break for the University of Winnipeg. Good rebounding once again, but this time the ball falls out of bounds. It's awarded to the Manitoba Bisons.
And I think T.L. got caught off the ground, Peter. She really wanted to pass that basketball. She saw the open player coming down on the right lane, but left her feet and then was hung up and couldn't complete the pass.
Johannesson, it works against Carroll, and the ball is taken finally by the University of Winnipeg. Great play by Andrea Hutchins to save it. And she'll try the outside shot, bounce it off the rim, and there's Marjorie Kelly with another rebound. And now a steal by Winnipeg, and now another steal by Manitoba.
Marjorie get the basketball into the point guard's hands.
Shot shot from the outside off the rim. Once again, a lot of players from Manitoba going aggressively to the boards, and a foul called under the basket. Timeout here in the University of Winnipeg. 7-4. Winnipeg with the early lead.
Super crisps, super spirals. McCain, what have you done to my fries?
We've spiced them up.
All right.
We've crisped them up.
Brilliant.
We've even curled them up.
Excellent.
McCain has taken its famous super fries, dipped them in light batter, and surrounded them with bite after bite of crispy, crunchy, super spicy satisfaction, straight ahead or curled around. Super crisps and super spirals from McCain. You'll love what we've done to your fries.
Just make sure you're in the drive line, you have position.
Colleen
Okay?
Dufresne in the University of Manitoba huddle. She's got a very good perspective on what's happening in crosstown rival Winnipeg so far as it affects her program.
Winning the bronze last year was something to be very proud of, and we were and are proud of that fact. And that's the toughest part. I feel sorry for the kids because they don't get the accolades and the recognition that they truly deserve. You know, the fact that they have beaten us so many times is credit to their program. However, it is only over 2 seasons. If you have a strong team, you should beat them every time in that year. So, you know, the sound of 17 or 18 games or whatever it is sounds like it may be something that's lasted 5-6 years. Well, it hasn't. It's been 2 seasons. So, you know, it's not as bad as people think, and we'd certainly like to stop it now. There's no question about that. It's not in our heads because it's not our streak, it's theirs. We just want to win a basketball game. And what I'm trying to do with them is to use the hype and the excitement over the game and the crowd to their advantage, to our advantage. Enjoy it. I mean, that's the way basketball should be, with the stands full all the time, because it is good basketball. And there's no pressure on us to win. You know, most people in this country would like to see a record set by a Canadian team. I know a lot who would like to see us stop that streak, but you know, so there's no pressure on us. We just have to go out, have some fun, and play hard, and do better than we did last time.
Colleen Dufresne with some wonderful comments. 345 wins to her credit over 15 seasons and 168 losses. She's in her 15th year in the program, and Sandra Carroll got a free shot there and wasn't able to put it in. And Winnipeg's gone a little cold around the basket here, and here comes T.L. Johannesson back from the University of Manitoba.
You know, we said at the top of the show, Peter, that these teams were out warming up well over an hour before game time. And sometimes when you break your traditional pattern of coming out for a 20-minute warm-up, try to release the tension, release the excitement, and get off a little bit flat on the offensive end of the court.
Vicky Neufeld called on the travel. It's Winnipeg basketball now at center court, and here's Pam Flick to get the offense going once again for the Westmen. Sandra Carroll finds a little lead. Jump shot out of the key, and she's on the board for her first points. Never worry about her. She will show up. Last year in the championship game in Calgary, she had 7 points in the first half and finished with 37, and one of the most incredible performances ever by a basketball player at any level in this country. Pam Flick, long pass. Andrea Hutchins got it perfectly. And you get the finish you want. 11-4, Winnipeg leads. Doesn't take long.
And that's why Pam Flick is maybe the best point guard in CIAU basketball this year. She made an exceptional pass and just led Andrea Hutchins, put the ball out there ahead of her. Hutchins never had to break stride to get the layup.
Rebound is taken by Manitoba's Larissa Krellin. Johannesson from the outside, just a little unlucky, and again aggressive rebounding there by Manitoba, but this time it's Hutchins getting the outlet pass, and there's Sandra Carroll, and there's 2 more.
Great teamwork. Hutchins brought herself under control at the foul line, froze the defensive player, kept the player with her, and made the great bounce pass inside to Carroll.
13-4 Winnipeg. Seems like only moments ago, and it was only moments ago, it was all even at 4.
This is bad for Manitoba because they came out aggressive. They've been doing a good job on the backboards. They've extended the pressure of their defense, but they don't have any results to show for it.
Vicky Neufeld off the rim and up and over the top. and she drew a foul call.
Look here, you see the rebounder up, inside rebound by Asplund, and over the back.
That's an aggression foul, though, and that's probably what Colleen Dufresne really wants to see. I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing as a good foul, but far better it be a foul committed by effort than one that's a function of just being a little lazy and reaching in.
You're right, Peter. A rebounder can't look for a player and then stop and go around. A rebounder's got to focus on the basketball and go right for the ball. If there's a player there, you have to take that foul as a positive, aggressive foul.
5 team fouls now against Manitoba, 2 against Winnipeg. Tom Kendall making some suggestions to his veteran team on the floor, and here's Terry Lee Johannesson from Dakota Collegiate in Winnipeg. Originally, now a third-year art student. And a second-team conference all-star last year. Nasty spill there for the Winnipeg player, and a great basket for Marjorie Kelly, who's got 4. And we're just over 8 minutes into this first half.
Marjorie Kelly made an explosive and a good move that time. Colleen Dufresne would like to see her take charge more in the ball games. As a first-year player, she lays back a little bit, but she's got great talent, great skill.
There's a good turnover there. Good rebounding. Sandra Carroll went up in the middle of it and a foul called. Manitoba hanging tough, trailing 13-6 to the University of Winnipeg now with just over 12 and a half minutes to play in the first half.
Now look here, you see Sandra Carroll on the inside right here. The shot goes up and you've got your point guard in on the boards, mixing it up with the big players. That's great offensive balance for Winnipeg.
2 from the outside for Pam Flick, who has her first basket of the evening. Johannesson threw it into the corner, and unfortunately for her, Larissa Krellen was coming back out to the outside. Timeout on the floor. And it's called by the University of Manitoba's Colleen Dufresne. Tom Kendall, 16th season.
Okay, I'm gonna start subbing a little more on the perimeter. Okay, got to put a couple of people in, save some legs here. It's really important. You're doing a great job on her on that point. Okay, by just backing off her, making her make mistakes. Overplay the wings. Okay, that's good too. Make sure we're boxing out. You understand? Make sure we're boxing out every single time. Now offense, it's easy. Just use the screens. Okay. Use the screens every time down the floor. That's all you got to do, and you'll be wide open. When you use the screens, you'll have space to penetrate. All right? Go ahead the way you're playing it. Box out. Come down on offense, okay? Use the screens and penetrate.
You know, Peter, you're listening on a huddle with a fellow who's got 440 wins in university basketball, and it's amazing how he coaches the basics. He said 3 key things in that huddle. Use the screens, pretty simple. Anybody involved in basketball would understand that. Block out means get your body between the offensive player on the boards, gain position, and deny the wings defensively, play aggressive to the outside, and that was part of the game plan tonight, defensively.
Well, they're certainly going to have to be a little more aggressive than they've been at the defensive end on rebounds. There's a long shot from the outside. Sandra Carroll missed. And here's Manitoba coming back. Good pass up through the middle of a lot of traffic. And T.L. Johannesson robbed again. And here comes Winnipeg back. Long outlet pass to Laura Asplund. And both teams have gone a little stale.
Good transition movement for Winnipeg, though.
Timeout on the floor. 11:51 to go in the first half. And it's 15-6 Winnipeg.
The Trevor Linden Bauer hockey stick is the best chunky soup stick offer yet.
No, it's not. The Wendell Clark Bauer hockey stick is the best chunky soup stick offer yet.
No, it's not.
Call 1-800-995-9512 to find out how to get a Wendell Clark or Trevor Linden signature stick with 7 labels from delicious chunky soup.
The best way to eat chunky soup is with a fork.
Au contraire, mon ami.
Quick hit about a chat I had with Terry Lee Johannesson before. start going this.
Manitoba huddle. It is Colleen Dufresne speaking to her troops. 15-6 the score. The Bisons on the short end of the game, but playing reasonably well, I think. Little concern about foul trouble in the sense that they have 16 fouls as opposed to 3 for the University of Winnipeg. But so far, at least her team has done, I think, what she wants them to do. They've been a little bit unlucky on the scoring side, but they have gone aggressively to the boards.
Well, that's right, but one of the things she did want to do tonight is bring a lot more pressure into the half-court game. And what's happening is the players are denying the wings on Winnipeg, and then when Winnipeg catches the ball, they're not softening up on the defense. They're staying right up close to the offensive players. Well, with players like Andrea Hutchins and Sandra Carroll, you can't do that. They're just too explosive off the first step. So I'm sure Colleen will be talking with her players about that.
Well, the crowd is quiet for the moment, at least, despite the presence of a very loud band and a few dancers and cheerleaders and jugglers. Great atmosphere here, though, in the building. And I think when Winnipeg gets on a little bit of a roll here, that this crowd will come alive. This game was sold out on Tuesday. There have been a lot of calls looking for tickets. There are 40 accredited media here tonight, not including the technical crew that are part of our broadcast. And the usual complement is 4 or 5. So it's a story that has gotten a lot of interest. A half hour on Inside Sports on TSN last night. And it's been a great story to tell, and we're glad you could join us here to see how it unfolds. Right now, Manitoba getting on the score sheet with Vicky Neufeld getting a couple of points. Long pass up to Lara Asplin, and a traveling violation called against the Winnipeg rookie.
That's the best thing that can happen to the Bisons right here, is that Winnipeg begin to turn the basketball over. That gives them more offensive possessions to get back in the ballgame.
Stacey Ewell, the point guard now for the University of Manitoba, as Colleen Dufresne has put her back on the floor. She's one of 4 players with Manitoba that has been a part of this whole story. And unfortunately for Manitoba, it hasn't been a great story to tell, at least in terms of games against Winnipeg. 18 consecutive losses dating back to the 25th of January, 1992.
And you know, it makes it tougher when you're a cross-town rival. I think Colleen Dufresne had some first-class things to say about how her team is handling the streak. But the fact is, the players do have to live in the city of Winnipeg. And it would be a lot better if they were in the same conference, but maybe could get away from it all and all the hype and publicity occasionally. So they'll be glad when this streak finally does end.
A lot of them have played together before on different teams as well. Juvenile championship teams, Manitoba junior girls teams, some Canada Games experience, things like that. So it's not like they're total strangers to each other, certainly not in terms of the number of games that they have played. And, it's a great streak, but right now Manitoba is hanging in there and doing a pretty good job trying to make sure that if Winnipeg wins this game, it earns it. Here's the quick pass down floor, and it's like Saran across both baskets right now, and neither team is scoring very much.
And that's something that can happen. You got to make the transition off the offensive violation and back to the defense very quickly. You can't allow Winnipeg to run the lanes unmolested.
I think one of the reasons the bigger people are on the floor for Tom Kendall is to improve on the rebounding, and certainly it's done that, as that one was hauled down by Heather Corby. And it will be Winnipeg basketball here as Tom Kendall contemplates the scene. And Flick off the screen with the outside shot, and good rebounding once again, this time by the University of Manitoba. Here comes Terry Lee Johannesson. And a follow-up rebound by Vicky Neufeld. It's 15-10 for the University of Winnipeg.
Victoria Neufeld is one of the top rebounders in the CIAU. She just does a great job on the backboards.
And Flick directs traffic, moves the basketball to the outside to Andrea Hutchins. Neufeld blocked that shot. Hutchins will try it inside, puts the ball on the floor, and has it stripped away, and we'll have a jump ball. And it will be Manitoba basketball on the alternating possession rule. Here is Charlene Mash-Hadlow coming onto the floor for Manitoba. She will take over for Lorianne Palmer.
Charlene brings a lot of intensity, maturity to the lineup. She's got a lot of experience. Coached high school basketball here in Winnipeg, so she sees the game both from the player's perspective and also the coach's perspective.
Her 2-year-old son is home tonight, probably watching the game, or he will be too in another couple of weeks. She wanted to make sure that she had a chance to say hello to Carter. It'll be Winnipeg basketball as Stacey Ewell on the defensive play knocked it out of bounds. 9:02 to play, first half. Low scoring first half, quite a number of shots, but neither team really hot coming to the hoop. And that time Pam Flick is fouled on some aggressive defensive play by Charlene Hadlow.
Pam Flick changes speed so well to the basket. If she sees daylight, she's got that fifth gear to kick into, and that's what she did. She turned the corner at the top of the key, saw the low post vacated, and accelerated to the basket. An excellent offensive move by the point guard.
We've got a timeout on the floor with 8:55 to go in the first half, called by the University of Winnipeg. And let's see if we can join one of the huddles here and get some strategy and find out how these teams are proposing to really get their offenses going, because defensively they're both playing reasonably well, but offensively it's been a bit of a struggle.
Well, it has been, Peter, and one of the things that you got to do in a game like this is you've got to stay sharp, and you can't over-relax. I think what had to be on Winnipeg's mind all day is how do we relax, how do we go into this game and not overreact to the situation.
Brendan Connor is somewhere in the audience with a guest. Brendan.
Thank you, Peter. Peter, I'm here with Dan Flick on the Winnipeg side. Dan is a proud parent, of course, watching his daughter Pam Flick lead the University of Winnipeg as she has for a couple of years. How was Pam around the house this week, Dan? Was she a little bit on edge, a little bit of pressure?
Not really. She's fairly calm at home as she is on the court. Doesn't show much emotion. Doesn't really let anybody know what she feels like.
No, she's a former volleyball player. Was in the States on a volleyball scholarship, you told me.
Her first year out of high school, she went down there and played volleyball all year. But her game was actually basketball, and she come back and played with the junior team in Manitoba here, and they won the Nationals. And
this is her love now. This is the proud parent. This is Dan Flick. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Brendan. Pam Flick, one of 3 All-Canadian academics on the University of Winnipeg Westman. Andrea Hutchins actually just missed last season, but she's been there before. Pam and Sandra Carroll have also excelled in the classroom. And this is a nice tribute to this team, is that not only is it good on the floor, but it's also good in the classroom. They don't have any academic problems with these ladies, and that's nice to see. It is student athlete in this country, and the University of Winnipeg Lady Westmen exemplify that. Stacey Ewell to start things for Manitoba. Terry Lee Johannesson looks to make a pass. Long shot from the outside, off the rim, and once again, good rebounding this time by the University of Winnipeg. And here is Pam Flick for the Westmen. Hutchins did a nice job driving in, then taking a step back. Then she went to the outside. She made a heck of a basket.
Andrea Hutchins wanted to cut across the baseline and came back out, changed direction. She really read that pass very well and then made a great move.
The ball out of bounds off Andrea Hutchins. It's Manitoba basketball. 8:06 to go in the first half. There's Marjorie Kelly coming in once again now. She'll take Larissa Krellin out, and Larissa will sit down, have a little rest. Johannesson works against Carroll, gets the shot, gets the rebound, gets another shot, and puts it in.
T.L. Johannesson's a tough competitor. She really plays with a lot of intensity. She's got a great penetrating game, went to the boards, and then sticks in and gets the second shot. Now, Manitoba's been trying to deny the wings the basketball on the entry pass for Winnipeg. Sandra Carroll read the denial defense, cut back door, and sprung out up wide open under the basket.
Working the ball to the outside. Here is Charlene Hadlow, and she was slapped on defense as she went to take the shot. 2-shot foul.
Good fake there by Charlene Hadlow. She faked the defense toward the screen and busted down to the baseline wide open.
Timeout on the floor, 7:23 to go, first half. 21-12, Westman over Manitoba. Back after this.
we gave Dodge Ram the most powerful overall line of truck engines on the planet. A driver's side airbag, the option of four-wheel anti-lock brakes, a cab design that sets a new standard for comfort and room. Then, after we made the Dodge Ram that good, we made it this bad. Introducing new Ram Sport. From Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
Back at the Duckworth Center in Winnipeg, Peter Watts, Brian Heaney, and Brendan Connor with us. And Brendan somewhere in the crowd with yet another guest. Brendan?
Thank you, Peter. I'm here with the Manitoba Justice Minister, Rosemary Vaudry, whose portfolio also includes the status of women concerns. Very appropriate that she's out here at a women's basketball game. Enjoying yourself?
Just absolutely wonderful. What a great game. It's terrific for women's basketball. It's just terrific for sport. It's great to be here.
Probably a nice respite, too, from the rigors of the ledge now and then.
Well, it's really a nice opportunity to enjoy myself. Look at all the fans here. They're enjoying themselves, too. Great opportunity, and just wonderful to cheer this wonderful team on.
What about allegiances, Rosemary? You are the Minister of Justice for the province of Manitoba. U of M, U of W, which do you cheer for?
Well, I have to say tonight, I'm really hoping that the Westmen make it. This is just a landmark game, so good luck to them.
Okay, thanks very much. Rosemary Vaudry, the Manitoba Justice Minister, and we'll send it back to Peter.
7:23 to go in the first half. 21-12, the Westmen lead, trying to win game number 89 in a row. A streak that started on the 24th of October, 1992, with an exhibition victory over the University of Alberta in Edmonton. And who would have thought, 2 years later, we'd be here in Winnipeg watching a little piece of sports history. Charlene Hadlow at the line, Stacey Ewell at the line, missed the first shot, missed the second, rebound to Winnipeg. The Westmen starting to dominate the defensive boards in this game, and Pam Flick starting to score, Rickett early from the outside.
And somebody missed the defensive check on that one, Peter, and that's a sign of a young team. And Colleen Dufresne is substituted freely. She's got some first-year players in there, and sometimes that'll happen, a lack of communication, and you give up an easy basket.
Marjorie Kelly works the ball to the outside, knocked into touch. It'll be Manitoba ball. 6:57 to go in the first half.
You know, we talked at the top of the show about Andrea Hutchins and her great offensive contributions to this team. She is doing an exceptional job defensively, pressuring the wing player for Manitoba. She's denied the pass several times, caused a couple of turnovers. She's really working hard.
Marjorie tried the shot. The time clock just about to run out there. And a foul called. It's a two-shot foul. And it's Andrea Hutchins called on the foul, her first. Here's Lorianne Palmer back onto the floor for the University of Manitoba. And Charlene Hadlow will sit down for a breather. Larissa Krellin getting ready to come back in for the Bisons as well. And Marjorie Kelly missed on the first try.
Manitoba hasn't had good luck at the foul line tonight. That's the third foul shot in a row they've missed. And if you're going to penetrate, as Manitoba has done, and you're going to draw the foul, you got to convert it to foul line.
So the margin is 10 points with 6:42 to play here in the first half. 23-13. University of Winnipeg with the lead. Pam Flick with the basketball. Good check there by Terry Lee Johannesson to knock that ball away from Sandra Carroll.
TL will rise to that challenge. She's a fourth-year player herself. She's got that senior leadership. She'll go head-to-head with Sandra Carroll and enjoy the competition.
You're looking at Lynette Lafreniere, a 6'4", first-year player from Collège Louis Riel in Winnipeg, first-year sciences student. Tom Kendall recruited 3 first-year players this year. And one of them is Heather Corby. And she just got her first basket of the game. Heather Corby 6'1", Lara Asplund 6 foot, and Lynette Lafreniere 6'4". Pretty good recruiting by the coach.
And a very aggressive move by Heather Corby. Drop step to the baseline and took the ball right toward the hoop. You like to see that in the first year play.
Sandra Carroll found a lane, drew a foul as she went to the basket. And it's a 2-shot foul here for Carroll.
Great crossover dribble by Sandra Carroll right down into the gut of the defense and drew the foul. Manitoba penetrates to the paint as well as any team in the country, Peter, and it causes defenses a lot of problems because with the excellence of both Carroll and Hutchins on the perimeter, when they do get to the paint, they draw the back defender, defending the post to them, and it usually leaves for a wide open shot.
Sandra Carroll has 8 on the night, averages almost 27 a game. And here is Terry Lee Johannesson to Marjorie Kelly for the University of Manitoba. Drives into traffic, outlet pass, nicely done, but they can't get the ball to fall, and Andrea Hutchins beat 2 Manitoba players to the rebound. And you're right, at both ends of the floor, she's been very steady. Inside, nice pass, and the ball knocked into touch by Lorianne Palmer. Good defense there against another first-year player, Heather Corby.
Heather Corby, again, has good instincts to the basket. Catches the basket ball with her back to the basket, and then turns and goes right for the hoop.
Heather Corby this time gets the ball to fall.
Great move. Square to the basket, faked the shot, stood the defense up, and then crossed over right to the baseline.
Winnipeg by 16 now with 5:20 to go in the first half. And this time Lynette Lafreniere got her hands on the basketball and drew a foul.
Tom Kendall really is high on the potential with Lynette Lafreniere. She's 6 feet 4 inches tall, the tallest player on the club, and Kendall says for her size, she's relatively quick, and he thinks that she's really going to develop to be a dominant player in the future years here at Winnipeg.
Lynette Lafreniere came out of Collège Louis Riel, not a great basketball program, but she really honed her skills in 2 summers on the provincial team. And you get into this kind of a program where you're practicing with and against these quality of players and playing as much as she has, her skills will get very good very quickly. That's one of the great things about this program that Tom Kendall has right now. He's playing a lot of people, and so even though he'll lose his 3 big stars next spring to graduation and to the eligibility rules, he's going to have skilled people and people with some experience ready to pick up the slack next fall. Good work under the basket that time by Vicki Neufeld. And it's 29-15. Here comes Pam Flick for the University of Winnipeg.
Full court pressure by the Manitoba Bisons, and that's their game defensively.
Corby a little surprised to have the open shot, long outlet pass, and Marjorie Kelly took it, and Sandra Carroll, I think, fouled her.
Good looking pass. We said that Manitoba's game is full court pressure defense, Peter. It's an excellent pass. Good catch, but contact on the reception.
Sandra Carroll goes to the sidelines. She's got a couple of fouls on her. And Marnie Neshwaduk is on the floor, number 15 for the University of Winnipeg. Johannesson with the basketball. Lorianne Palmer missed. Marjorie Kelly got the rebound. Manitoba working the ball around the perimeter, and now the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Winnipeg basketball. Timeout. And we have a substitution coming in. Andrea Pales, number 12, back on the floor for Winnipeg. Pam Flick works against Terry Lee Johannesson. Heather Corby inside, can't get the ball to fall. Good job rebounding. And then the ball was thrown away, and this time it's controlled by Manitoba. This young Manitoba team, Brian, being very patient offensively. They're not trying to force the ball very much. They're trying to set up, use the clock, and make some things happen only when they get the opportunity. Like there, but they missed the shot. But they got the rebound on the steal. Nice job that time by Vicki Neufeld, third-year player from Garden Valley High School in Winkler, Manitoba. And the long pass goes to Heather Corby for Winnipeg as the Westmen strike back.
One of the things that Winnipeg's doing very well is they're posting the basketball up, and they're doing it with fresh players. So that's wearing Manitoba down defensively on the inside because Tom Kendall's been able to substitute. And when he's done that with the post players, he's increased his size while he's given his starters some rest.
Larissa Krellin with the ball for Manitoba. Now to Neufeld. Looks inside. Can't get it to Johansson. Has to do it to the outside. Tries the long shot. And two Winnipeg players are there to get the rebound. And Vicky Neufeld went for the loose ball and took a forearm in the mouth, I think. Colleen Dufresne a little disgusted with what she saw. 2:48 to go. First half, 31-17. Winnipeg leads Manitoba.
McCain took your favorite sandwiches and put them in their pockets. Introducing new McCain ham and cheese and beef and cheddar super pockets. Savor the flavors, 'cause it's the bite you really like. All in a crust that's baked, not fried, so there's no leaks, no mess. That's to make it eat. It's a bite you really like. New McCain super pockets. We filled up our pockets with the flavors you savor. McCain!
Great crowd on hand, almost 3,000 here in the building. Somewhere in the building is Brendan Connor with another guest.
Thank you, Peter. It's a bit noisy here in the stands and a bit crowded. We're cramped in. I'm with Michelle Chambers, who's a former star at the University of Winnipeg, a couple of years removed. She was on that team that won in 1993 when the streak started. Fond memories of the streak. You're proud of these guys for carrying it on?
Well, I'm very proud to be a part of the Westmen, and I keep contact about how the streak is going and everything else. That's why I couldn't miss tonight.
What are you doing these days? Just an update for the folks? Still playing?
No, I played a season overseas in Malta, and I came back and I injured my ankle, so I decided to stick with the police force, and I'm currently going through recruiting.
Great. Well, good luck, and I know you're proud of these guys. They seem a little tight at the top.
A little bit tight, but I mean, they're just getting used to it now. Once things get going and they're really comfortable with their surroundings, they'll be fine.
Nice crowd.
Yeah, great crowd. Why didn't we have this?
Michelle Chambers, former player with the University of Winnipeg, now in retirement and working in, or looking for a job in the police force. Peter, back to you.
Tom Kendall looks on. What a great record he's written here. This native of Lancashire, England. Came to Canada in 1969, served for a couple of years as an assistant to Barry Mitchelson in the men's program at the University of Alberta. In the early 1970s, came to Winnipeg in 1976. Started coaching the basketball team in 1979 and hasn't looked back since. And in the meantime, here's Vicky Neufeld. And she made the foul shot. Made one of two at any rate. Colleen Dufresne looks on.
Now take a look at the elbow here. We got the rebound and turned right around. The contact has been so aggressive inside. Swung the fist. Referee caught the move. Called excessive roughness. That gave them 2 shots at the foul line and, of course, possession of the basketball. These are the kinds of things that are going to help Manitoba if they can convert offensively, if they can get the extra possessions because of violations by Winnipeg.
Great job going to the basket that time by Terry Lee Johansson. And very quickly back comes the University of Winnipeg. The ball inside, saved by Heather Corby. And on the turnover, a traveling call.
Big break for Manitoba there because they fought hard defensively, got possession of the basketball, and then quickly turned it over. T.L. Johansson is doing a great job at the point, trying to keep this young Manitoba team calmed down.
Neufeld had 3 defenders on her, get the ball back outside, and Johansson hit the first almost from 3-point range. 31-22. The margin is 9 points now in favor of the University of Winnipeg. Hutchins took the shot from the outside. I think we had a foul away from the ball as Lorianne Palmer was knocked down.
Manitoba foul jersey is number 13, Larissa Krellin, her second.
Larissa Krellin called for her second personal foul for the University of Manitoba.
And the free throw line,
Andrea Hutchins. I laughed yesterday. Tom Kendall was telling me about her. He said, you know, she's from St. John's, so she's a half hour early for everything.
That's Tom Kendall. You know, she's a 2-time academic All-Canadian, a great student and a great basketball player.
E.L. Johansson into the head of the key, took the shot, got the rebound, did Lorianne Palmer, and nailed the 2-pointer. 33-24 now with 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. the margin is 9 in favor of Winnipeg. And Flick looks to make a pass. Looks to drive inside. Can't do that either. Finally gets it into Heather Corby. And up and over a lot of traffic. Heather Corby made a nice turnaround jump shot and has her team up by 11 with a minute to go in the first half.
I'll tell you, she is an outstanding first-year player. She handles herself very, very well with her back to the basket down in the baseline area.
Sandra Carroll, who is the leader of this team, has been on the bench for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Under a minute to go as Vicky Neufeld makes the shot for Manitoba. 35-26 with a half a minute to play in the first half.
Manitoba's held in very well. Colleen Dufresne would be real happy to go in with a single digit.
Barney Neshwaduk from Glen Lawn Collegiate in Winnipeg, second-year art student, made that basket for the Westmen. Larissa Krellin hustles back down the floor. One more shot for Manitoba. That's what Colleen Dufresne wants. As the clock winds down in the final 10 seconds of the first half, Marjorie Kelly has the ball turned over. Pam Flick with the outlet pass. The clock winds down. Hutchins is fouled with 0.9 seconds left to play in the first half.
We talked at the top of the show, Peter, about response to the challenge. Manitoba made a little bit of a run here, and then all of a sudden there's an outstanding jump shot made on the other end of the floor. Defense that converts to Andrea Hutchins' drive to the basket. So in a period of 15 seconds with their back to the wall, they respond once again. That's the kind of character and that's the kind of competitive instinct that this team has displayed over the course of this streak.
2 free throws for Andrea Hutchins as the final seconds tick down to a game that the Westmen now lead at the half by 39-26. A 13-point advantage halfway through a great evening of basketball entertainment at the Duckworth Center at the University of Winnipeg. Brendan.
Peter, I'm standing with Tom Kendall, the coach of the Winnipeg Westmen. 13-point lead at halftime. Coach, how's the first half gone? Kind of as you hoped, or would you like a bigger lead, obviously?
Pretty much as we expected, except they took away our perimeter game much better than they did last week, and that surprised us a little bit. But we got more out of our inside than we've been getting for a while, so you know, if something doesn't work for us, we go to something else, and it's pretty much as I expected. I wasn't happy with our defense in the last 6 or 7 minutes.
The crowd, the intensity, the streak, do you think it made for some tight players to open the game?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure that we were tight as much as they played very good defense in the first 10 minutes.
What are you gonna tell them in there?
Well, pretty much the same kind of thing. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going with penetration. We've got to try and push the ball all the time, and we've just got to make sure that we're playing solid defense.
Okay, Tom Kendall with a 13-point lead at halftime. Back over to you, Peter.
All right, Brendan, thank you. An interesting halftime. You'll want to stay with us for that. We have reached the half at the Duckworth Center in Winnipeg. Winnipeg 39, Manitoba 26. Lots more entertainment still ahead. Stay with us.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly, lasts longer, protects better against odor. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
It's the holidays, so it's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest featuring the movie classic Field of Dreams. If you build it, you can be a part of this magical baseball field for just $6.99 while supplies last with the purchase of any large sandwich or extra value meal. The movie also includes a mail-in rebate for Jurassic Park, available at video outlets nationwide. So visit your local McDonald's restaurants today and enjoy this special time of goodwill toward men and cats.
McDonald's today.
You can tell a lot about a man by his shaver. The man who uses a bra and flex control appreciates good looks. has the flexibility to adjust to any situation, and he's not afraid to get close. But the most revealing thing about a man who uses a Braun is how easy it is to spot him.
I believe this is yours.
Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
I can't go to work. I feel so sick.
Take new Dayquil.
My head is pounding and I can't stop coughing.
Take new Dayquil.
Won't this work?
Now there's a non-drowsy cold remedy that's a decongestant, cough syrup, and pain reliever all in one. Introducing new Vicks Dayquil Liquid Caps. The non-drowsy, stuffy head, congested chest, sore throat, coughing, fever, so you can face your day medicine.
Hey, it does work.
We're back at the Duckworth Center on the campus of the University of Winnipeg. It's halftime. The University of Winnipeg Westmen with a 13-point lead over their crosstown rivals from the University of Manitoba. I'm Brendan Connor welcoming you back. It's halftime and people taking a breather from a very exciting first half. And again, the electricity in this building is very palpable. They're here. They know they can witness just a little bit of history as the University of Winnipeg Westmen go for win number 89. If they get that win, of course, it'll be a North American collegiate basketball record, and they will shatter a record that has stood for over 20 years, a record that was held by one of the great basketball teams of all time.
Around the time most of the Winnipeg Westmen were in diapers, the UCLA Bruins were setting the collegiate basketball winning streak record of 88 games. The Bruins were led by 6'11" Bill Walton, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. He joined UCLA in 1971, and over the next 2 seasons, the team posted back-to-back 30-0 championship years. Jamal Wilkes was a Walton teammate.
He was a great all-around player, no doubt about it. And Wooden. Matter of fact, when we played them my first game when I was a freshman, instead of me really concentrating on shooting baskets, a layup line, I was looking at Coach Wooden the whole time because I always remember him being a little guy. And you just knew the mystique. They had great teams, a tradition of great teams at UCLA.
Adrian Dantley was a member of the Notre Dame team that stopped UCLA's streak at 88 games.
And that streak was ended by Notre Dame on a last-second jump shot by Dwight Clay way back when. These people are here hoping that the streak by the University of Winnipeg Westmen will go to 89. And we'll be back with more from the Duckworth Center right after this break.
On average, over 500 homes in Canada are broken into every day. Choose Wiser Locks, Canada's first choice in lock security. Wiser.
Face it, shaving is a pain. It strips away the skin's moisture, leaving it hot, dry, and burning. But now there's proof you can take the heat out of shaving. Introducing Sensitive from Old Spice. It's the one with cooling sensates, an invigorating blast of real refreshment that cools skin scorched by shaving. Prove it to yourself. Try new Sensitive from Old Spice. It's more than a great scent. This is a cooling blast of real refreshment that takes the heat out of shaving.
Super
Crisps, Super Spirals, McCain. What have you done to my fries?
We've spiced them up.
All right.
We've crisped them up.
Brilliant.
We've even curled them up.
Excellent.
McCain has taken its famous super fries, dipped them in light batter, and surrounded them with bite after bite of crispy, crunchy, super spicy satisfaction, straight ahead or curled around. Super Crisps and Super Spirals from McCain. You'll love what we've done to your fries.
You can tell a lot about a man by his shaver. The man who uses a bra and flex control appreciates good looks, has the flexibility to adjust to any situation, and he's not afraid to get close. But the most revealing thing about a man who uses a bra is how easy it is to spot him.
I believe this is yours.
Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
Now, protect your home and family with this free home security video from Wiser Lock. Learn about securing doors, windows, locks, and installation. Just pay $2.93 shipping and handling. Send your name, address, and check to Wiser Lock.
Well, some students at the University of Winnipeg obviously saying a big hello to the folks back home, and we thank you, and Merry Christmas from TSN as well. We are at the Duckworth Center on the campus of the University of Winnipeg, and the Winnipeg Westmen have a 13-point lead at halftime. Brendan Connor back again. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of this basketball game. It's a great story. The University of Winnipeg Westmen going for 89 straight wins. First, the streak was 35. They were national champions. Then they won the next year undefeated. The streak was at 73. They were national champions. Along the way, they broke a very impressive streak that had been set by the women's team at the University of Calgary. And with more on that, here is TSN's Lisa Bowes.
The women's basketball teams of 88, 89, and 90 are still talked about here at the University of Calgary. And with the Winnipeg Westmen on the verge of breaking an incredible record, it has brought back memories of what the Dinos accomplished 4 years ago. The Dinos were unbeatable. The team's success elevated women's university basketball to a new level.
When people find out that I played, or, you know, Linda and some of the other girls, they say, oh, you were on that team that won all those games. And so it's something that they still remember. And even some of the girls today, like I do some coaching in the high schools and stuff, and they think it's a big deal. They remember it.
The Dinos' string of 69 straight wins came to an end at the 1990 National Championships, Calgary losing to Laurentian in the title game. But the end of the streak was not the biggest disappointment.
Number one was probably the national championship. That was definitely our goal all year long. The streak, we knew it was there, and it was exciting because all the hype around it. But really, the national championship is what we were playing for, and that was a huge disappointment.
Maintaining their focus worked for Calgary, and it has worked for Winnipeg. And while the Westmen are gunning for their 89th straight win, the former record holders are watching and remembering what it felt like to be in the national spotlight.
Delighted to see this game now on TV so that other people in this country have an opportunity of seeing women's basketball, seeing CIAU basketball at this level. Because we go into NCAA mode very, very quickly here because of the television coverage. So again, there was attention given to the record, and now there's a continuation of that. And again, you have a University of Winnipeg team that is exceptional.
And thanks to the accomplishments of these two great teams, women's university basketball is getting the exposure and respect it deserves. Lisa Bowes, TSN, Calgary.
And once again, you can see the samples of support around the Duckworth Center here for the Winnipeg Westmen as they try for 89 wins in a row. They have a 13-point lead at halftime. We'll be back with the second half and comments from Peter and Brian.
Cold days are here, so cover yourself right during Tip Top Tailor's biggest coat sale ever, featuring huge savings right now. Like Navajo-inspired blanket coats, now only $99.99. Leather coats now from only $179.99. And cloth bomber jackets now from only $49.99. Unbeatable outerwear savings only at your menswear store. And right now, Tip Top will pay the GST on all outerwear. Don't miss our biggest coat sale ever, on now at Tip Top Tailors.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick, it evaporates less quickly, lasts longer, protects better against odor. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the high endurance challenge from Old Spice. I did.
So Mr. Big misses again. And I say to myself, sink this and you gotta hang around here and humiliate another one of these fine gentlemen. Miss intentionally, and you can savor a smooth Labatt ice in a less hostile atmosphere. Then I see this guy putting together his custom-made pool cue, and I think, let's welcome our next contestant.
The signs are everywhere. More and more people are moving away from no-support rent-a-desk companies and choosing the company that gives them more than 100% support. Coldwell Banker. Support you can count on.
On average, over 500 homes in Canada are broken into every day. Choose Wiser Locks, Canada's first choice in lock security. Wiser.
Souvenir t-shirts, and they hope that it is history in the making here tonight at the Duckworth Center on the campus of the University of Winnipeg. The Westmen have the halftime lead by 13 points in search of their 89th straight win and a new record. And with their thoughts on the first half of play and some highlights, here again, Peter Watts and Brian Haney. Gentlemen.
All right, Brendan, thank you. I think what's interesting about this University of Winnipeg team is that if you shut one player down, somebody else jumps up and makes big plays. Sandra Carroll, fairly quiet in the first half, but watch out. And in the meantime, there were some other great stories on the floor.
Well, there were. They got a lot of good play off the bench. Tom Kendall feels he's improved his depth this year. He's not hesitant to substitute at all. And especially Heather Corby was great inside. She really dominated the inside play in the first half for the Westmen.
Sandra Carroll demonstrates why she is one of the great players in the country with a move like this.
And right here, you're going to see Sandra Carroll stand the defensive player up with a fake pass and then lower the shoulder, drive right to the paint, pulls up and loses her balance but stays square to the hoop and drains the jump shot.
The other play is off a turnover, and it shows you how quickly Winnipeg can turn the ball back the other way on the transition.
Andrea Hutchins made a great defensive block. She blocks the shot. It comes in the hands of the nation's best point guard, Pam Flick. She throws the basketball down the court and catches Hutchins in transition, which she doesn't even have to break stride. A great pass.
All right, you're in the coach's seat now. If you're Winnipeg, what do you say to your team? If you're Manitoba, what do you say?
I think if I was in Winnipeg in Tom Kendall's shoes, I'd stay, pick the pace up, bring the defensive pressure full court, start to gain some rhythm in the game, and entertain the fans a little bit. They're in excellent shape to go through the second half and win this ball game. If I was Colleen Dufresne, I'd say we've got to get some good outside shots, use the three-point line to our advantage. We're down 13 points, but make sure that the ball is in the hands of the shooters. Everybody can't shoot that shot, but maybe T.L. Johannesson and one or two of the other players can get hot and put Manitoba back in the ballgame.
I think in the first 20 minutes it's been difficult for both teams to live up to the hype and the expectation level of the crowd for this game. We'll see what they're able to do in the second half. Brendan?
All right, thank you, Peter. Warming up for the second half, the Manitoba Bisons and the Winnipeg Westmen. And we will be back with second half action from the Duckworth Center at the University of Winnipeg right after these breaks.
Now, protect your home and family with this free home security video from Wiser Lock. Learn about securing doors, windows, locks, and installation. Just pay $2.93 shipping and handling. Send your name, address, and check to Wiser Lock.
It's the holidays, so it's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest featuring the movie classic Fievel Goes West. You can pick up Fievel and his gang for just $6.99 while supplies last with the purchase of any large sandwich or extra value meal. The movie also includes a mail-in rebate for Jurassic Park available at video outlets nationwide. So visit your local McDonald's restaurants today and enjoy this special time of goodwill toward men and cats.
McDonald's today.
You can tell a lot about a man by his shaver. The man who uses a bra and flex control appreciates good looks, has the flexibility to adjust to any situation, and he's not afraid to get close. But the most revealing thing about a man who uses a bra
is how easy it is to spot him.
I believe this is yours.
Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
Out on the ice, I don't score points for how my hair looks. But after the game, in front of the press, when the cameras are just inches away and millions of fans are watching, my hair has to look great. And great hair can't have flakes. No way. So I get rid of them with Head & Shoulders. It keeps my dandruff in check and my hair looking great. Hey, you can't hide under a helmet all the time.
Head & Shoulders, every day.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
On average, over 500 homes in Canada are broken into every day. Choose Wiser Locks, Canada's first choice in lock security. Wiser.
Welcome back to the Duckworth Center at the University of Winnipeg, where the Winnipeg Westmen are leading the Manitoba Bisons by 13 points at halftime. I'm with the Manitoba Bisons coach, Colleen Dufresne. Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Defensively, I'm very pleased with the way that our kids are playing. I thought that one of the big problems we had last week was controlling the boards, and I think Lorianne Palmer has upped her game, and we're doing a good job there. We're having a little bit of trouble on offense scoring. We're only shooting 30%, which is not like this team, so I'm hoping for us to come back in the second half and do a better job in the offensive end of things.
Are you pleased with the team able to keep its focus in the midst of all this?
Yes, I am.
What did you tell them at halftime?
Just to believe in themselves, to stick to it, and run the offense and keep working on the D.
Have a good second half. Thank you. Colleen Dufresne, the coach of the Manitoba Bisons. Peter?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Let's look at some statistics from the first half very quickly. Not as high scoring as I think we would have liked to have seen, and not very much from three-point land, and you pointed out quite correctly that may be a key for Manitoba in the second half.
It will be. They've got to cut their turnovers down as well. They got 13 turnovers, and that's too many for a team that beat a team the caliber of Winnipeg. So if they handle the ball a little bit better, make smart passes, and pick up their field goal percentage, they can get back in the ball game.
Well, there's an aggressive basket there by Andrea Pales, number 12, to get the scoring started here in the second half. And just like that, there's a turnover. It'll be Winnipeg ball. Andrea Hutchins to put the ball in play. And Flick works against Terry Lee Johannesson. Sandra Carroll at 8 points in the first half and a couple of fouls. Did not play very much in the last 6 minutes, but is back out on the floor to start this second half. Pam Flick from the outside had the ball blocked. And Heather Corby went up and had that ball stripped away as well. Good aggressive defense by the Bisons. And now Terry Lee Johannesson back quickly for Manitoba. Neufeld off the rim and in for two.
Good move by T.L. Johannesson. She crossed over, drove right down the lane into the paint, broke the defense down, and opened up that opportunity for Neufeld to get the ball on the inside and make that basket.
Andrea Hutchins found a little bit of a lane, and that was all she needed. 43-28. The margin is 15 points.
And here's where the experience of Winnipeg comes in. Sandra Carroll's being denied the basketball exclusively. As soon as the Winnipeg player sees that, they're driving right to the basket, and there's no help defense on the strong side. So they're breaking down the defensive play, isolating a defensive player. Not enough there to stop players of the quality of both Hutchins and Pam Flick. They've got to get some help to stop the penetration.
Johannesson gets a chance off the glass and puts it in for two more. 43-30 Winnipeg, just underway here, almost 2 minutes gone in the second half of this historic basketball game. The University of Winnipeg trying to win game number 89 in a row. Andrea Hutchins. Sandra Carroll. Little jump shot didn't go in. And there's Manitoba once again. Johannesson this time with a long pass to Lorianne Krellin. And she got the basket. No, it's a player control foul. An offensive foul on the play, so no basket. And Winnipeg gets the ball.
Coach Colleen Dufresne is off the bench. She's aghast. The jaw hung open, but let's look at the move. Here comes the play, hard to the basket. The defense sets up, gets her feet planted, and had both feet down before the player took off. Judgment call, but a good one on the referee's part.
Marissa Krellin's third personal foul of the game. Carroll puts the ball on the floor, tries the fadeaway jumper, didn't get it to go. And here's Krellin back quickly for Manitoba. She's going to try it once again. This time, It's a defensive foul. You look at Sandy Corby and Andrea Pales. Pales going out, back onto the floor. Heather Corby and Lara Asplund. And Corby was particularly impressive in the first half. She wears number 10. She's a first-year player. Krellin gets the first free throw to fall. 43-31. Winnipeg. 43-32 Winnipeg. Charlene Mash-Hadlow comes back in. Larissa Krellin goes to the sidelines.
Peter, offensively, if Manitoba can continue to take the basketball to the goal, put themselves on the foul line, and then shoot well from the foul line, they can also help themselves get back in the ballgame.
And Flick from the outside couldn't get the ball to go through.
It's a big basket if it goes, because it cuts the lead to single digits.
Winnipeg has turned up the pace here a little bit now, and good play there defensively by Marjorie Kelly to knock that loose ball out of bounds.
Marjorie Kelly's also got the task defensively of trying to isolate Sandra Carroll defensively. She's really working hard to overplay her the basketball and making Carroll work very hard offensively without the ball.
Perfect example, but a foul called there. It went out of bounds, I believe. Colleen Dufresne educating an official. Marjorie Kelly's a first-year player. Sandra Carroll is a two-time winner of the Nan Kopp Award as the best player in the country. On paper, you'd say that's a mismatch, but Marjorie Kelly's doing a pretty good job.
Well, she's got great quickness and strength, and she's also got size on Sandra Carroll.
Basket that time by Terry Lee Johannesson, who averages 22 in the game and has 16 on the night so far. 43-34 Winnipeg.
Big basket. The lead now is single digits, and Manitoba has really changed their offensive philosophy in the second half. They're penetrating to the basket.
Here's Johannesson once again. Nice outlet pass, and Marjorie Kelly couldn't make the basket, but did draw a foul.
Good play and a lot of confidence shown by T.L. Johannesson for the rookie, Marjorie Kelly. Johannesson could have tried to make that play herself, but she didn't. She gave the ball up to the first-year player, and that's the kind of teamwork that you got to have to develop a nationally prominent team as Manitoba is.
Second foul against Asplund of Winnipeg. Here's Marjorie Kelly, who's still learning how to play the game at this level. She was a terrific high school basketball player, but she's gone from being the star of her high school team to being a rookie on this team, and that's a tough adjustment no matter what the sport and no matter what the athlete.
It is a tough adjustment, but she brings lots of credentials with her. As a member of the provincial junior team this summer, she was a standout player, and she's going to develop into being a standout player over the course of her career.
7-point game right now. The University of Winnipeg has led all the way, but Manitoba has hung very tough and is playing very, very well here in the early moments of the second half. Sandra Carroll tries a little shot that goes off the rim, and this time the ball's taken by Manitoba, and again defensively they continue to play strong. Good play as Hadlow got the basketball outside. Johansson looks and fires. And the rebound this time goes to Heather Corby, and a foul is called. Marjorie Kelly, I believe.
Manitoba didn't make the basket on that sequence, Peter, but they did give the basketball up unselfishly very well.
15:42 to go here in the second half. A great ball game. Winnipeg leads by 7.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly, lasts longer, protects better against odor. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Welcome back to the Duckworth Center in Winnipeg, where the Westmen lead the University of Manitoba 43-36, 5 minutes into the second half.
Because you wear them till their tongues hang out. Micotin penetrates the skin to kill athlete's foot.
Sandra Carroll, 3 for 9 in field goals and 8 points so far in the ball game, and that is under her average of nearly 27 points a game. Brendan, where are you? What have you got?
I'm in the stands behind the Winnipeg bench, Peter, with another proud parent. This is Sally Corby, who has 2 daughters playing on the Winnipeg team, Heather and Sandy. And you were telling me that your daughter had an opportunity to be making a lot of money overseas, but would rather be here. Tell me about that.
Oh, she definitely has a passion for basketball, and she'd much rather be here than anywhere else.
She's an international model, and she was offered somewhere around $10,000 to go to Germany and be in a modeling shoot this week, but she loves the game. This is interesting having 2 daughters on the same team. What's it like around your house in anticipation of a game like this?
Oh, they're pretty hyper yesterday, but they settle right down the day of the game, and they support each other. They're wonderful for each other, I think, and we've been pretty fortunate to have them around. They're nice kids to have around the house.
Indeed you have. That is Sally Corby, mother of Heather and Sandy Corby of the Winnipeg Westmen. Peter?
Thank you, Brendan. 15.5 minutes to play, second half. Marjorie Kelly with another steal. Sandra Carroll stole it right back, and a foul called, and Kelly drew it. And that's 3 on the rookie who's trying to do the impossible, and she's really done a pretty good job, and that is hold Sandra Carroll in check.
She's done a fine job because she's made Sandra Carroll work very hard without the basketball. And if you watch Carroll during the second half off the ball, I think she's a little bit winded. She's in good shape, but she's had to work extraordinarily hard tonight to get free with the basketball. But this is the point in the game where Winnipeg has always responded. They have that inner reserve, and they can draw off that reserve. And right now, Sandra Carroll can step up and be counted.
There's a huge play by another rookie, Lara Asplin. First-year student from John Taylor Collegiate in Winnipeg took that ball away from Charlene Hadlow.
And watch Asplin at 6'1" come in behind and block the shot. And you see the infectious attitude of never give up, never say die spreads through the program. A first-year player comes in, exhibits hustle, and makes a very important play.
Hadlow on the outside, trying to break down this Winnipeg defense. 10 seconds on the shot clock as it goes up, and finally the ball is knocked out of bounds. It'll be Winnipeg basketball. Ham Flick, long outlet pass, and it goes off the Winnipeg player, Heather Corby, and it'll be Manitoba ball. 43-36, 7-point game. Kelly inside. Mickey Neufeld off the rim, and the rebound goes to Winnipeg. Here's Sandra Carroll against Marjorie Kelly. Here's Terry Lee Johannesson back the other way against Pam Flick, one-on-one. Johannesson cuts the margin to 5.
Good challenge, and T.L. Johannesson has played very, very well in the second half, penetrating to the basket. Now, Sandra Carroll has to step up and be counted here. The lead down to 5. But she's toughest when the pressure is on.
Outside to Pam Flick, to Andrea Hutchins, who's been very quiet in the second half. And a foul called as Hutchins tried to find a lane in the middle of the key. She was terrific in the first half, but defensively they've done a job on her here in the first few minutes of this second half. One of the characteristics of this Winnipeg team throughout this streak has been that it's been almost impossible to stop 1 or 2 players and not have everybody else pick up the slack. It's been an incredible story that way, that you really have to stop about 8 people, obviously 5 at a time, but it doesn't seem to matter who's out there. Somebody gets open and somebody gets the job done.
You're right on, Peter, and they've got tremendous senior leadership around the perimeter between Flick, Hutchins, and Carroll.
There's another great play by another fine rookie, Lara Asplin, number 11. In the middle of that Winnipeg offense. And Lorianne Palmer commits her 3rd foul and the team's 5th.
Lara Asplin stepped right into this lineup and has played like a veteran during this season. She's averaging almost 9 points a game and 6.5 rebounds a game. Those are impressive stats when you're not getting full minutes on the court. She's done a good job. She's going to be a powerful player in the years to come here.
Hutchins and Palmer, jump ball. It'll be Manitoba ball in the alternating possession rule. 44-38, a 6-point Winnipeg advantage. They won by 32 last Friday night down at the University of Manitoba. But this has been a quality effort by the University of Manitoba to this point against a very, very fine Winnipeg team. Good steal that time by Pam Flick. Tough full court pressure defense by the University of Manitoba. Here's Heather Corby, looks to make the pass. There's the shot at a basket by Lara Asplin.
That was a great series, Peter. What teamwork. There were 4 passes involved, and in the 4 passes, they got a wide open layup under the basket, starting 80 feet away.
A 5-year player starts the play, and 2 rookies finished it off. And we've got a foul away from the basketball, and it'll go against the University of Winnipeg, I believe. Blocking foul against Heather. Laura Asplin is called. Her second foul. Team's third in the half. 13:02 to play. Marjorie Kelly, who was out briefly, is back on the floor now as Charlene Hadlow rather, comes to the sideline. Sandra Carroll had the ball taken away, and here's an easy basket for Neufeld. A great steal by Terry Lee Johannesson.
The seniors are stepping up. T.L. Johannesson and Victoria Neufeld being heard from here. If you'd asked Colleen Dufresne if she'd take a 6-point deficit with 12:40 to go on the clock at Winnipeg for an important game like this, I think she'd say yes. They're within striking distance right now.
Saved by Johannesson. Marjorie Kelly down the sidelines, and the steal almost by Pam Flicker knocked the ball into the side area. And it will be Manitoba ball.
Now Manitoba's got to get a good shot here. They've got to get a quality shot. They've got to take the right shot by the right player.
The right player might be Johannesson, and she drew a foul as she went to the hoop that time. Pam Flick fouled her. Let's go quickly to Brendan Connor.
Peter, I was talking with Terry Lee Johannesson before the game. She's a 22-year-old. She's a bit older. She took a couple of years off school, and she plays well for this team. She told me she was trying out for the national student team last year, and Colleen Dufresne was the coach of the team, and she cut her. I asked Colleen Dufresne about that. She said, well, she was one of my players. We had a relationship. She understood. It was an easy cut to make, but the way she's playing tonight, probably the best player on the floor. Surprising that Colleen Dufresne would cut her from the national junior team last year.
19 and counting for Terry Lee Johansson. It's Winnipeg basketball now, 46-41, 5-point game. Much closer, I think, than a lot of people expected. Good play there as Kelly knocked it free to Terry Lee Johannesson. And a traveling call. And just like that, what looked like it might be a real opportunity for Manitoba dissolves into Winnipeg possession. And just like that, it's turned over to Manitoba.
Winnipeg's landed on the platter for Manitoba to come take it. Now they've got to continue to get the quality shots. If they keep the ball in T.L. Johannesson's hands the way she's playing tonight, good things should continue to happen. She's been a great floor leader, really stepped up as a senior on this team and given the team, a young team on the inside, great direction.
There's a super basket that time, 21 and counting now for Terry Lee Johannesson, third-year art student from Dakota Collegiate in Winnipeg. Hutchins looking for Lane. Can't find it. A foul called. There's a tough foul against Manitoba and a perfect example of having to maintain poise.
Well, good hustle. Lorianne Palmer, a first-year player, just lowered her arms and laid the forearms on the offensive player. You can't do that. If she'd have kept her arms raised, she probably would not have gotten called for the foul.
Be sure to stay with us at the end of the game for the TSN Turning Point, presented today by Sony.
Dad doesn't know, but this commercial is being shot with our new Sony Handycam. We entered Sony's Walt Disney World contest, and here we are with all my favorite characters. Why don't you enter Sony's Picture Perfect Family Vacation contest and win a trip to Walt Disney World Resort? You can stay at Disney's Grand Floridian Beach Resort. Delta Airlines, the official airline of Walt Disney World, will get you there. Get your dad to an authorized Sony of Canada dealer and keep him away from the candy floss.
curling coverage begins on TSN tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 on the West Coast with the Road to the McCain TSN Skins game. Vic Rowder, your host. Semifinals start with Rick Folk, or with Russ Howard and Ed Werenich. The first semifinal, that's at 2 o'clock Eastern. And the second semifinal follows at 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday evening. Kevin Martin of Edmonton, Rick Folk of Kelowna, BC. A terrific field for the Skins game this year. If you're a curling fan, if you're a sports fan, you'll want to watch that. And we're glad you could join us tonight for a great evening of entertainment presented by the Universities of Winnipeg and Manitoba with an 88-game winning streak on behalf of the Lady Westmen on the line, and the Westmen leading 46-43 with 11:38 to go in regulation time.
Peter, this game is up for grabs. Manitoba really couldn't be in better shape right now. Winnipeg has to be thinking about the significance of the streak, being up only 3 points, but with a game of this magnitude on the line, that's got to play something with your mind right here.
Aggressiveness on defense once again by Manitoba, and able to do it without committing any more fouls. They have 14 fouls. They have 16 fouls in the second half. So one more and it'll be bonus opportunity for Winnipeg. Sandra Carroll works against Marjorie Kelly and has all she can do to really find a lane to even make a pass, never mind take a shot.
Good defensive help by Lorianne Palmer to cut off Sandra Carroll.
But that time, Pam Flick dribbled through heavy traffic and got the basket and extends Winnipeg's margin of advantage now to 5 points. 11:10 to play in regulation time here. Pam Flick with the steal. Sandra Carroll's alongside if needed. Great defense once again by the University of Manitoba, and it'll be Winnipeg basketball.
Boy, Marjorie Kelly has the heart of a thoroughbred. She lagged that play, accelerated and used her speed, and really saved a basket.
Heather Corby, tough shot from the outside. Terry Lee Johannesson has the shot at the other end. Rebound goes to the outside, knocked into touch, Winnipeg ball.
Good choice by T.L. Johannesson. Built the transition very well, got the lanes filled, took a good shot, but the ball didn't drop.
Hutchins for Winnipeg. Sandra Carroll. Finds a lane, goes to the hook, takes the basket. That is her first points in the second half. She has 10 on the game.
Better screen up on you and
this is when
up the ball on the wing.
This is when she's toughest, Peter, when the ball game's on the line. Where they're being threatened, she'll take it right to the goal. Good upper body strength there. She got hit both right and left, maintained possession of the basketball, and got a quality shot off.
Palmer has drawn her 5th foul for the University of Manitoba. Sandra Carroll has 10 in the ball game. Only 2 so far in the second half. We have a timeout on the floor with 10:26 to play here in the second half. And it's a 7-point game in favor of Winnipeg, 50-43.
You understand? Up from the low post. Yes, when she's on the wing.
Ball screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What's the problem?
Because they think it's screen up on the offside. But they might not.
Okay. Well, you make sure. Did you see how Terry...
Whatever you want to do is okay. I could coach that way.
There's delivering the responsibilities to your senior point guard. You make sure, meaning if the inside post players, first-year players, didn't understand the nuance of the play series that Tom was calling, he says you communicate with them and get it straightened out.
Sandra Carroll completed the 3-point play. Marjorie Kelly missed from the outside. The significance of Lorianne Palmer's departure from the game is that she's one of the few tall players on the Manitoba lineup, and they have had terrible problems at the post position this season, in part because they're so much smaller than a lot of the teams that they're playing. And against this Winnipeg team, that's a serious problem. But Vicky Neufeld made a fine basket there and got a rebound as well. And with just under 10 minutes to play, it's 51-45. Still 51-45. Pam Flick's got the ball. She'll try and find a lane. It opened up like a door, and she nailed 2 more, and it's 8 points now, the margin of the lead, as Charlene Hadlow comes back for Manitoba.
Pam Flick made a great move that time by not rushing the shot. She penetrated into the thick of traffic and then got her balance and made a good bank shot off the backboard.
Good screen, nice move to the basket. 23 points and counting for Terry Lee Johannesson.
She's got the heart of a champion. She lowers the shoulder and is going to take the ball to the goal, and that's exactly what Manitoba has to continue to do.
Andrea Hutchins works against Stacey Ewell. Carroll from the corner can't make a shot. Now she looks to find the shot open, can't do it. Neufeld with the outlet pass to Stacey Ewell. Manitoba comes back. Hadlow from the corner off the rim. Lara Asplund gets the rebound for Winnipeg. And Sandra Carroll made a fine save. Hutchins from the outside. And a foul is called.
You couldn't ask for a better opportunity to upset a great basketball team than what's here tonight with 8:40 to go. A 6-point ball game. Now what Manitoba has to do is they have to continue to go to the goal, but also on the defensive end, they've got to keep Winnipeg off of the foul line. They can't continue to foul, stop the clock, and give Winnipeg easy shots from the line.
Neufeld tries a shot through heavy traffic. The rebound is taken by Pam Flick, and Neufeld stole it and scored. 4-point game, 53-49, 8:17 and counting left to play in regulation time. And we got a good story brewing here.
Now, two things. Don't foul Manitoba and keep Winnipeg off the boards. Limit them to one shot. They can't allow easy shots, second shots, and at the same time, they can't commit a foul, stop the clock, and put them on the foul line. Right here, Carroll squares up. She's had her problems all night, but if they stop the clock and put her on the foul line, you're going to add to the offensive efficiency of Winnipeg. So they've got to keep their hands to themselves, and now's the time where they've got to really call on their conditioning and play defense with the feet and not with the hands.
Vicki Neufeld has 4 fouls. That's a more serious problem than losing Lorianne Palmer for Colleen Dufresne. Sandra Carroll has started to find the range from the free throw line. Manitoba's in the bonus situation right now, so every foul means a shooting opportunity. Stacey Ewell drew a foul that time as Sandy Corby reached in with the arm and got called. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 7:57 to play here in the second half, and a 6-point lead for the University of Winnipeg.
McCain took your favorite sandwiches and put them in their pockets. Introducing new McCain ham and cheese and beef and cheddar super pockets.
Savor the flavors, 'cause it's the bite you really like.
All in a crust that's baked, not fried, so there's no leaks, no mess.
Fast to make and eat, it's a bite you really like.
New McCain super pockets. We filled up our pockets with the flavors you savor.
McCain!
Because hockey season lasts until July, Micotin penetrates the skin to kill athlete's foot.
Great atmosphere in the crowd. A little concern at the Winnipeg bench. Tom Kendall addressing remarks to his troops. We asked him about the possibility that this long 88-game streak of wins might end tonight.
Awake on defense, everybody on help.
It's not just a question of winning. I don't think we just want to win this game. We want to win this game and look good doing it. I think we want to show people that the brand of basketball at this level is worth watching, and so we're much more concerned about playing well than we are about winning, because we feel that if we play at our best, that we're going to win anyway.
Well, in that context, you wonder how he feels about the performance of his team at this point, and we'll pick up on that in a moment after a word from Brendan Connor.
It's a timeout. I was listening on the timeout with Coach Kendall, and he was saying, as you pointed out, Vicky Neufeld of the Bisons has 4 fouls, and he told his players, let's go at Vicky. She's got 4, 1 more, and she's out of there, and then we'll have a much more successful game inside. So they watch for them to go on offense at Victoria Neufeld because she's got 4.
Well, they can go at Neufeld, but they better stop Terry Lee Johannesson from scoring points because she's got 22 to lead everybody on the floor, and she's been terrific for Manitoba.
She really has, Peter, and if you watch her off the ball, she's communicating with the players, shouting instructions, trying to give that leadership that's so important when you've got a mix of players that are senior, especially in Neufeld and Johannesson themselves, and then some rookies that are in the lineup for their first year of play.
Sandra Carroll managed to knock the ball into touch. Winnipeg's got the ball. Pam Flick looks for a shot possibility or a passing option and goes to Andrea Hutchins. Here's Flick from the corner. Off the rim. Neufeld to Kelly. And quickly, it's down the floor with Hadlow controlling. Trying to set up an offense now to Stacey Ewell. 55-49, 6-point game. Winnipeg with the lead. 7:08 and counting left to play inside. And the ball is turned over. Good defense there by Andrea Gale. Sandra Carroll with the great pass. And Andrea Hutchins would have had to be 6'9" to pull that in instead of 5'11". But just like that, she gets the turnover. And Pam Flick comes back for Winnipeg.
Missed opportunities by the Bisons. They have an opportunity here to close this gap down to 2 to 4 points. Turnovers will just kill you.
Just like they did there. This time it goes over to Manitoba. And a great play. Johannesson is knocked down as she went high in the air and lost her balance coming down, and a foul is called, a pushing foul against Pam Flick. It is her second and the team's 7th. Marjorie Kelly gets the ball on the outside. From the corner off the rim, and Pam Flick's got it and starts back slowly for Winnipeg. Westman led by 16 at one point. It looked like it might be a rout. It's been anything but. Great anticipation of the pass by Marjorie Kelly. 2-on-1 break, and Kelly scores.
She's just been outstanding, turning defensive plays into offensive baskets.
Here's Sandra Carroll now for the University of Winnipeg. Outside shooter off the rim. And there is Terry Lee Johannesson once again for a big rebound for Manitoba.
4-point game, Peter. And one of the things that Manitoba's done is they've kept their poise and they've gotten the ball in the hands of the people that have to make the big plays. Now, Sandra Carroll, cold in the second half, takes the outside shot. She really hasn't come into her own offensive zone yet, played up to her capabilities, but there's a lot of psychology involved here.
Okay, all right, go after the boards. Make sure that you're moving along the baseline and you're seeing cutters on the 1-2-2. Okay, yeah, make sure if you're on the offside, if there's a cutter coming from the backside, you see it. All right, all right. Now, let's go to her a little more. Okay. They are stopping her dead. So let's come back to her. Let's go to Hutch initially and come back to her. Okay? All right. No problem here. As long as we play loose, we'll be all right.
That's a good move by Tom Kendall. It shows again why he is a great basketball coach. He says they're making it tough on Sandra Carroll. Don't go to her initially. Go over to Hutch. Andrea Hutchins, take the pressure off Carroll. Don't take the ball to her initially. Go to Hutchins, draw the defense, and that may open up opportunities for Carroll to get her hands on the ball in a better scoring position. You know, right now at this stage of the game, no matter how great you are as a player, what do you want? Sandra Carroll has to be thinking, I'm not going to take this game onto my own shoulders. She has great confidence in her teammates. She's going to distribute the basketball here.
2 timeouts each. Mills with 5 fouls, I guess, for Winnipeg. Neufeld with 4. That's a serious problem for the University of Manitoba. And in the meantime, there's Lara Asplund with yet another rebound. Ham flick to Sandra Carroll. Marjorie Kelly plays her very tough on defense. Hutchins on the outside. Hutchins tries the shot off the rim. Reaching in. Good. Rebounding by Lara Asplin, and a terrific basket by the first-year player from John Taylor Collegiate in Winnipeg. She's got 8 points.
Steps up. She's been huge in the second half. She's done a great job on the offensive boards.
Johannesson into the corner. Stacey Ewell looks, fires it back to the outside. Here's the lady they probably want to shoot the basketball if they can get her open for a free shot. And that is Johannesson. Kelly inside. Neufeld tries. Off the rim. And flick with the rebound. Long outlet pass. Hutchins in the corner.
Winnipeg in the zone. Manitoba's got to attack that zone on the inside.
Off the rim. Rebound taken by Manitoba. Marjorie Kelly. 4.5 minutes to play. In regulation time, Johannesson's got 2 more. 57-54, 3-point game. 23, I think, for Johannesson. Make it 26.
Peter, Manitoba's a 3-point shot away from tying this basketball game up. This is a big defensive series right here.
Foul called as Carroll tried to drive to the lane. Holding call.
Got to work hard defensively, but they have to cut the driving lane off with the feet. Watch the penetration move here, right down the middle. Player steps in, he's got to get there with the feet and not straight with the stray hand.
The foul on Marjorie Kelly was her 4th. Sandra Carroll.
Close basketball games, foul shooting usually spells victory or defeat. Winnipeg converts 2. Manitoba missed their last opportunity at the line.
Carroll with 8 points in the first half, has 6 so far in the second. Marjorie Kelly with 4 fouls, went aggressively to the hoop, got a rebound and another basket. And Manitoba showing Winnipeg a taste of its own full-court press medicine here. 9 for Kelly in the game. Asplin out to Sandra Carroll. Works against Kelly.
Tremendous drive by Sandra Carroll. She read the defense, didn't see any help down on the baseline, and took Marjorie Kelly down where she couldn't get any help from the rotating post players. Smart move, perceptive move by Carroll, and a great shot.
Kelly's got 4 fouls. That's the legacy, or the hampering factor for her. And we've got a foul under the basket.
Westman foul charges number 14, Sandy Corby, her 2nd.
Sandy Corby commits her 2nd foul. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in regulation time. It's a 5-point game. Winnipeg still leads.
So I'm channel surfing when it occurs to me, I wouldn't mind hitting one of those fashion TV shows in Paris. You know, I'd find out what's in, find out what's out. That'd be cool. And who knows, maybe someone over there would appreciate the enduring qualities of a true Canadian lager. Hey, trendy colors come and go. Me, I prefer blue.
The signs are everywhere. More and more people are moving away from no-support rent-a-desk companies and choosing the company that gives them more than 100% support. Coldwell Banker. Support you can count on.
Now, to each man who shaves, there's an edge all his own. Only Edge Gel has 7 custom formulas, from extra moisturizing to sensitive skin, for a close, comfortable shave. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
Well, there are a few Manitoba fans here. The University of Manitoba campus at the south end of the city of Winnipeg, the University of Winnipeg campus in Midtown. And the team that's trying to win its 89th consecutive game is clinging to a 5-point lead. And I don't know that anybody can downplay what Manitoba's done here. Manitoba's played terrific basketball tonight. They've worked hard. I watched them practice yesterday, and I wondered if they'd be up to the challenge, but they have been every bit as good as they could be, and perhaps a little better.
They really have, Peter. And, you know, you go back to the crosstown rivalries, the great rivalries in sport. The top of the show, we talked about the record that's about to be broke, the UCLA record. They had a great rival in USC, and the games were always close.
Brendan.
Peter, I was listening in on the Manitoba time out there. Two very contrasting styles of coaching here. Colleen Dufresne very much firing her team up, whereas that contrasts sharply with the laid-back style of Tom Kendall. But basically what Colleen was saying is we're in this game. This is a great game. We're in it. And we need help on defense, and we need to continue to take the ball at these people and see if they crack under the pressure.
Charlene Hadlow 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 61-57, 4-point game, 3 minutes and 15 seconds and counting. Left in regulation time. Andrea Hutchins with the basketball for the University of Winnipeg to Pam Flick.
Okay, now Manitoba's got to be thinking no fouls and no second shots right here.
Carroll inside. Marjorie Kelly aggressively after the basketball. Still playing aggressively with 4 fouls. And doing what she has to do to give her team a chance to perhaps tie and take the lead in this game. Heather Corby from the outside. Pam Flick. Heather Corby, Pam Flick. Sandra Carroll, foul. And it's an offensive foul.
That was a big call because it kept Marjorie Kelly in the ball game. Had that call gone the other way, Manitoba would have lost her defensive play.
Foul jersey against number 10, Marjorie Kelly, her 5th in this one.
Oh, now they've changed the call.
Okay, the referee's hand signal indicated offensive charge, but the call actually was defensive foul. So that's going to really hurt Manitoba's chances to maintain that defensive intensity on Sandra Carroll without the ball. Another player's going to have to step up. Let's see what changes Colleen Dufresne might make.
That might be a turning point in the game because this young player has played terrifically well for the University of Manitoba. Marjorie Kelly leaves the ball game with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in regulation. She's the second Bison player to foul out. Lorianne Palmer went a few minutes earlier.
And interesting, Peter, both of those players are first-year players. Freshmen come into the league, they make the adjustment, they make the jump to the CIAU level of play, and fouls usually are a problem for a season or two.
Pam Flick is relatively quiet tonight offensively with 10 points. Been steady defensively. Missed 2 free throws. It's still 61-57 Winnipeg. Stacey Ewell works hard at the head of the key. Gets it inside. Neufeld playing with 4 fouls. Tries and goes for the rebound. And it's stolen by Winnipeg briefly. But it'll be Manitoba ball.
Okay, that was a great inside move by Victoria Neufeld. Winnipeg has been in a zone defense for the last several series. So Manitoba's got to penetrate the gaps of the zone. And they can't make any long passes. The passes to the interior have to be short and they have to be crisp.
Marissa Krellin with the ball briefly. Johannesson looks inside. Here's Krellin from the outside. And Andrea Hutchins there for a huge rebound for the University of Winnipeg. Sandra Carroll with 14 points. Tries to dish it off, and it's stolen by Neufeld. Carroll reaches in. Foul called as Heather Corby grabbed the ball.
Big play here now. Manitoba's got to convert on the foul line, Peter. They've had an opportunity in the second half. Look here. Play in the corner. Sandra Carroll reaching in. Referee reacts. Whistle blows. Contact. Now Manitoba's had an opportunity to be in the lead in this ball game. Had they shot reasonably well throughout the game from the foul line. So the last 2:06 here, they're going to have to convert every foul shot they take.
Neufeld makes the first shot.
Great concentration. You want to have your seniors on the foul line when the game is on the line.
Neufeld has 14, 1 for 2, and Winnipeg's got the ball with Sandra Carroll dishing it off to Pam Flick. And then accepting the return pass, she finds a lane and it goes off the board. Here comes Johannesson.
Peter, we're 3 points away from a tie.
Now we're 1 point away, 61-60.
Johannesson again, right to the gut.
28 points for Johannesson.
The game is up for grabs right here, Peter.
88 straight wins for the University of Winnipeg. Will the streak end tonight?
Great defense.
We didn't think so at the outset. Hutchins finds a lane and is fouled.
You know, the smartest thing that Winnipeg did on that offensive series was lay the ball down and go to the goal. They didn't take a bad shot. Here's Andrea Hutchinson. She put her arm out. It could have been an offensive foul. She got away with that.
Don't take the ball too far. Just nice. See, the point is the best players are off the floor now. Just take your time. Nice little easy shot. Crash the boards without fouling. Down here, it's TL or the corner shot. Throwing. All right? We get the ball down here. You don't have to give her the ball. There are other people on the floor. Okay? Don't stand still on offense off the ball.
Well, the last minute and 26 seconds. Darlene Dufresne now is going to have to play without Vicky Neufeld, who drew her 5th foul just before that timeout. And now that's 3 key performers for Manitoba on the bench. Palmer, Kelly, and now Neufeld. And Johannesson, who's been a terrific performer and in my mind the player of the game so far for Manitoba, has got 3. Carroll has 2 fouls. Dale's fouled out early, but again, Winnipeg much deeper on the bench and able to compensate for losing players to foul problems. Hutchins makes a huge free throw. Every point now is so precious to each of these teams. Good job by Stacey Ewell to get the loose ball off the missed free throw. 1:20 to go in regulation time. Westman 62, Bison 60. Inside. Great block by Carroll. Great block by Carroll. It's Winnipeg ball.
Big defensive series right here for Manitoba. Offensive series is huge for Winnipeg. The key here, Peter, is get a quality shot.
A steal by Johannesson against Heather Corby.
What a great basket, a great basket. She went to the offhand. She's a left-handed player, goes to the basket and puts it up with the right hand. Tie ball game.
Tie ball game, 62 all. 30 seconds to play in regulation. Johannesson's got 30 points to lead the University of Manitoba. Carroll from the outside can't get it to fall. It will be Manitoba ball.
Right here, 30-second clock to shoot, 22 left in the game. Manitoba can have the final possession and get the final shot of the ball game.
Timeout, Manitoba.
Well, we talked at the outset about how much the Winnipeg Westmen have responded when they have been challenged. There has been no challenge in 2 years that they have faced that is bigger than the one they face right now.
The ball, okay? Come down the floor, whether they score or not. Just take whichever opportunity you have. Don't try and force anything. Just take what you have, Pam. Okay?
Tom Kendall with a little smile that belies the seriousness of the situation.
Can we? Well, we've got one left, if I ask.
Or at least the tenseness of the situation.
Well, they've got to step up and play great defense. Does Winnipeg. They understand that. Kendall gave them good direction. Make the right choice. The key here is not what shot you get, but the kind of shot you get. Winnipeg, if they get the ball back, have to get a quality shot. Now, on the other end of the floor, Manitoba is going to come at them, but they don't have any strength on the inside. So they've got to read the defense, first of all. Extended full court pressure by Winnipeg now. TL Johannesson has to get the ball into her hands.
Colleen Hadlow puts the ball in play. Larissa Krellin brings it down. Heavy pressure. Now Johannessen's got the ball. I would think they would want her to shoot the last shot. She's well out from the basket at this point. Stacey Ewell looks to her. Looks across to Larissa Krellin. We're down to 5 seconds. The ball is through the hoop. 4.4 seconds left to play. Timeout on the floor. 64-62 Manitoba, but the game's not over. 4.4 seconds left. All that stands between Manitoba and a huge upset that would stop an 88-game winning streak by the University of Winnipeg.
Pam Krellin right to the basket, split the defender, used the backboard to her advantage. A great shot. Smart timeout here. Now 4.4 seconds to go.
Whichever one is open. Doesn't matter which one. All right? Yeah, okay. I think it's probably sideline, is it? No, end line? End line. All right. Whichever one is open, give it to them. Okay? Now, you're probably going to look for a three. You're probably going to look for a three. Or you. She'll get it in bounds, and you've got lots of time. Yeah, you got lots of time. 4.5 seconds. Just go into the front court. Get the ball in the front court. Now start where you normally do. Just run it like you normally do, just a little bit quicker. Okay? Get the ball in the front court. Give it one of these two. Then shoot the three. They'll foul you on the three.
Okay, now Tom Kent will try to keep his team relaxed. What Manitoba needs to do here is they've got to make Winnipeg use time, so they should extend their defense full court at least partially. Now the back players in the defense are extremely important. Pam Yellen and Kyla Kosic, because if Winnipeg can penetrate and break down the defense, they're going to get an easier shot.
Pam flick to Andrea Hutchins over half court. 1.2 seconds left. Sandra Carroll, no!
Unbelievable!
A dramatic finish to a terrific, well-played, tense basketball game. 64-62 for the University of Manitoba in an upset over the University of Winnipeg, ending a consecutive winning streak at 88 games, the second longest in the history of North American sport. And there's a three-time All-Canadian, Sandra Carroll, a two-time winner of the Nan Kopp Award as the best player. But tonight she was overshadowed by a third-year performer from the University of Manitoba named Terry Lee Johannesson, who led all scorers with 30 points, played her heart out at both ends of the court. The Bisons had 3 players foul out, and they still got the job done. If they never win another game this year, that'll be a season highlight.
And that certainly won't be the case. They'll have lots of wins ahead of them. You know, the outstanding defensive performance of Marjorie Kelly on Sandra Carroll can't be overlooked.
Brandon Connor and Colleen Dufresne.
The winning coach, Colleen Dufresne. Peter, and tell me what you're feeling right now, Coach.
I'm I'm just so proud of them. They executed the way we wanted to, and defensively, I'm just really, really thrilled with the way that our kids played with heart and intensity from start to finish.
What a difference from last Friday, over 30-point loss to this same team. Did you do anything different during the week to prepare for this team, or did everyone just bear down more? What happened?
Well, I think what we did was talk about how we could change, what control we had over what we were doing to turn it over, more in our favor. And, most of it was focused on the defense. And I'm telling you, Marjorie Kelly did an outstanding job on Sandra.
For a first-year player.
And then our kids in the post helped. I just think they did such a great job. And TL at the point both ways, and she controlled Pam in terms of not letting her get the easy score. I'm really, really proud of them.
A terrific night for your team, and a terrific night for women's basketball all around. This is a great night to have a full gym, national TV audience, and you pull it off.
I'm thrilled for our kids. They worked hard, and what else?
Nothing else. Go and join the celebration. Thanks again, Coach. The winning coach, Colleen Dufresne from the University of Manitoba Bisons, who end the streak. Peter, back to you.
This was a team that got in as a wild card to last year's national championships, came home with a bronze medal, which most time would be enough to get a celebration crowd at the airport. The problem was that the University of Winnipeg won the gold medal and took all the accolades and got all the attention, and deservedly so. But now Manitoba steps forward, stakes a claim to greatness, stakes a claim to history, and manages to get the job done here against seemingly overwhelming odds at the outset. Brendan.
All right, I'm standing here with the star of the game. Easily, it is TL Johannesson, 30 points, leading the team. And tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm on cloud 10, if there is such a cloud. I cannot believe we actually broke their streak, and I bet you everybody in this gym can't believe it either, because I know we had a lot of fans against us rooting for the Westmen, and it's just a great feeling. We worked really hard, and I think we really deserved it tonight.
You led that team so impressively out there, offensively and defensively. Key steal in the final couple of minutes, penetrating offensively. What was different this week for you about compared to last week when you lost by over 30?
Personally, I just wanted to play the same game as last week, but as a team, our team, we just came through. We had two rookies that played amazing. Vicky Neufeld came through this time. She struggled last week. She came through big for us this time. She fouled out, but hey, she kept us in the game. And Larissa Krellin on that last shot, what can we say for that?
Big shot. Congratulations again on a huge victory. TL Johannesson, star of the game, certainly. Peter, back to you.
Drew Clay was the man who ended the UCLA streak in 1974. He got the winning basket for Notre Dame against the UCLA Bruins. And tonight, the name Larissa Krellin will be remembered in history. She only had 8 points in the game, but she got the two that made the difference in a 64-62 win over the University of Winnipeg. The streak is ending. The Brendan Connors work still goes on. Where are you? Who have you got this time?
Still at courtside, Peter, with the woman who hit the winning shot, the shot that ended the streak. This is a great night for women's basketball, and you'll remember this for a long time, won't you?
Definitely, yeah.
Tell me about the winning shot, Larissa Krellin.
We came down and we had a set play. It didn't work out. I got the ball and I just said, time was running out. I knew I had to take a shot, and I did. And it went in, and it was amazing.
Was it designed for you, or was it designed for TL?
No, it was designed for TL, and they probably knew that, so they just gave it to me, and I went in.
Were you aware how many seconds were on the clock, or just instinct take over?
I knew it was 22 seconds, and then I didn't know how much had run out, but I knew it was running out, so.
Biggest bucket you've ever scored?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What did you think about the night on the whole, the experience of being here with 3,000 fans, breaking the streak, being in such a high-profile game?
It was great. I mean, we were with them the whole game, which we usually aren't, and we were just motivated. We wanted it, and we did it. It was amazing.
You did. Congratulations again, Larissa Krellin, with the winning bucket. Back to you, Peter.
Quite a story. Kind of fun to be part of history, isn't it?
It's an incredible story, and you know the significance of this game at the top of the show was the winning streak continuing, but the significance of this win for the Manitoba Bisons for women's basketball in Canada was just immense. I mean, they played a game that will linger for years and years, maybe for decades, in the minds of the people that were here tonight to see this happen, and in years to come, their own memories will be cherished, and it'll be an incredible story to recount over the years in sports annals.
22 of 24 players on the floor tonight, part of the Manitoba high school basketball program at one point. That's a great endorsement of a great sport in a great city.